In this video, I'm gonna show you by far the fastest way to actually make money with copywriting. In fact, how fast, you might be asking? Well, if you do literally everything that I lay out for you in this video, there is no conceivable reason as to why you cannot get your next copywriting client within the next 3 days. In fact, I am so confident of the fact that you can get your next copywriting client within the next 72 hours that I want you to pull out your phone or pull out a timer and set a clock for the next 72 hours, because within those next 72 hours, you are going to get your next client. But why am I so confident about this? Well, I'm gonna throw up some screenshots on the screen now. You can see people are actually getting their first client within their first 4 outreaches, within their first couple of days, and making a couple $1,000s within a week or two. So if you wanna find out exactly what these copywriters did to get on the fast track to actually making money ASAP, then make sure you take notes and watch every single part of this video. So step number 1 of the full A to Z guide to making money with copywriting in the fastest possible way is that you need to solve your number 1 problem. And your number 1 problem, if you don't have any clients yet, is of course that you don't have any clients yet and you've never worked for anybody as their copywriter. And how do you solve this problem? I mean, it's hard enough to get copywriting clients as it is. And then it's hard enough to get experience as it is because nobody wants to hire you because you have no experience. So it's like just getting your first client is always going to be the toughest and always going to be the hardest unless you do exactly what I'm about to tell you right now. Because I mean, realistically, just think of it like this. You enter a life-altering surgical procedure and your doctor says, well, you know what? I've read about, this stuff 100 times, done a whole bunch of studying. I haven't actually performed a surgery on anybody, but you don't even gotta worry because this surgery is gonna go over immaculately. Are you gonna be okay? Are you gonna really be thinking there in your life or death situation, oh man, I'm so glad that at least, he hasn't done any surgeries, but at least he's read about some, right? No, of course, you're gonna be panicking and you're not gonna wanna trust that surgeon. Why? Because he has no on-the-job experience, okay? It's a really, really big deal. And this is exactly what it's like being a copywriter if you are completely unproven. You're a huge risk to a business and they have no idea whether you can actually make them money or not. But thankfully, there is a solution and I'm about to share it with you. Because the number 1 easiest way to always get your first client is to work with somebody who already trusts you. Work with somebody that you already know. And this is called the network method. Now, I've never actually revealed this before because it's not something that I personally have used, but I've been coming across so many copywriters that have been using it. And almost every single copywriting program out there, the first thing that they'll always tell you to do is look for someone in your network. Write down the names of everybody that you know and everybody that they know, okay? Because maybe a friend of a friend runs a business or has a personal brand and you can do some work for them to at least get a testimonial or get started at all. And look, when I tell you this is going to be worlds easier than going online and prospecting and looking for potential businesses and trying to outreach to them to get your first client, I'm telling you that this is an absolute game changer, okay? This is a life hack. And before you come at me with the Tyson, but I don't know nobody and I don't have no friends, I don't know this person, I don't know any business owners, I'm only 14, look, I get it. You probably are thinking of every excuse in the world, okay? But understand that all the people who this worked for said the exact same thing when they first came across this method. They sat there thinking, you know what? I don't know if this is gonna work for me. I don't really know anybody with businesses, but they did it anyways, okay? They sat there with a piece of paper. They wrote down everybody that they know. Everybody that they know is friends with who they know, okay? And they really went through one by one and figured out, okay, who has a business, who doesn't have a business. Now, okay, obviously, this isn't gonna work for everybody, okay? But there are still more ways to get your very first client. And when outreaching to people in your network, you don't have to be salesy and you don't have to necessarily just work for them as their copywriter, okay? Essentially, you just go to them to ask if there's anything that you can do, okay? Because if there's anything that you can do, even if it's post for them, make some posts, just take over some small part of their business, as long as they're able to get on video and say that you are someone who's good to work with, or even send you a text to say that you are someone who's good to work with, that will go a long way when you're actually talking to these other clients. Because the worst thing that you could possibly say on a sales call when they say, so how many businesses have you worked for? And you sit there and say, technically none. That call is gonna end at that very moment, okay? They might not hang up at that very moment, but understand that in their head, they're thinking, wow, how am I gonna get off this call right now? But for whatever reason, let's just assume that, okay, you've outreached to these people and you're either waiting for them to get back to you Or let's say you don't have anybody in your network. Well, there's still more ways to get your very first client. And when you are looking for your very first copywriting client, it is very important to note that you are looking for two things here, okay? There are two main goals that you are after. Number one is experience, and number two is on-the-job knowledge. Because without these two things, you admittedly have no idea what you're doing. Sure, you can watch all the YouTube videos, you can buy all the courses, you can get all the mentorships, but until you really get in there, get in the trenches, you don't really know what you're doing. And you just don't deserve to be paid yet. But the best thing that we can do is fix that. Because yes, I know that it sounds counterintuitive, but if you want to make money within the next 72 hours, the best thing that you can do is start by working for free. I always tell people this, and it is a huge reason as to why they stay stuck. Guys, if you want to make it to the top of the mountain, okay, and really make it with this copywriting thing, you have to go through all the steps quickly instead of trying to skip the steps. Because if you try to skip the steps, you are going to stay stuck forever. And this, my friends, is exactly where the low risk offer comes into play. Now, there are three ways to present your low risk offer. A low paying offer, so I'll do a few emails or a sales page or something for $200 to $300. Now, $200 to $300 is literally nothing to a business. And this is exactly why people are making $200 to $300 within their very first 72 hours. Next of all is commission based, okay? 10%, 15%, 20%, 30% of all of the profits that you are able to make that person. And then next, of course, is a free trial, a 1 week or 2 week period where you're gonna work for them for absolutely free or for a testimonial or something of that matter. Now, these are all great ways to actually get your foot in the door so you are able to call yourself a professional copywriter. And again, guys, it's important to remember that the best thing that you can get from these low risk offers and from these first copywriting deals is not the money. It is the experience and the on-the-job knowledge, okay? Remember that, because with experience, now you're a proven copywriter. You're officially a professional. When people ask you who you've worked for before, you can actually point to somebody, say, I worked for that person. Here's a testimonial. You can see that they liked working with me. Now, all of a sudden, you are literally increasing your chances of getting a client by 50, 60, 70%. And then next of all, you have on-the-job knowledge. What does this mean? This means you now have brand new knowledge, a brand new perspective on how the game actually works. And look, here's the thing. There's a lot of controversy as to whether you should start out for free or for cheap, or whether you should just start out the gate trying to go for the biggest top dogs and getting paid $2,000 to $3,000 from them just off jump, okay? And I'll tell you my experience. So look, there are 1,000 different ways to bake a cake, okay? Maybe it's worked for someone else where they've been in their first week of copywriting. They haven't worked for anybody before. They outreach to some huge company. This huge company brings them on, okay, pays them a couple $1,000s a month, and actually trains them up until they're a good copywriter. To me, that is literally a unicorn. That just doesn't happen, okay? Not in my experience. I haven't seen anybody do it personally, and I haven't done it personally, okay? But here's what I have seen done, okay? When you go for these other companies that are smaller companies, and you've presented them a low risk offer, your chances of actually getting started skyrocket, okay? So here's the question that I would like to ask for you. Would you rather swing for the fences on every single outreach and every single sales call, despite you not having any prior experience or any on-the-job knowledge, where it will be taking you months and months and months with literally not even a free trial client? Or would you rather get started, rather be in the game in as little as the next 72 hours, even if it's for free, even if it's for a couple $100? Hey, at least you can call yourself a professional copywriter and you're actually getting started. For me, I'm taking the low risk offer route every single time. For you, hey man, you do what you want to do. Maybe you want to learn the lesson the hard way, because I'm telling you firsthand, I have struggled for months doing the second way, okay? Outreaching to people with no past experience and no on-the-job knowledge. And I can tell you firsthand, I went 3, 4, 5 months, no clients, no nothing, okay? And I don't want that to be you guys. I don't want you guys to have to go through that, okay? So please do me a favor and at least consider working for free or for cheap at the beginning. But of course, there's much more to it than just what you're going to charge or who you're going to outreach to. You also need to know how to outreach reach. Now, guys, if you want all the outreach sauce, it is inside the Ultimate Outreach Playbook, which is, of course, inside of the Copy Starter Kit, which is free down below in the description. You can go down there, click the link. Just let me know which email to send it to, and it will be in your email inbox. And without any further ado, I want to give you guys some more tips that's going to help you get your first client in the next 72 hours. And first of all, I want you guys to start with smaller businesses, okay? Don't go swinging for the fences on every single outreach. Don't try to outreach to these huge guys and you're not even proven, okay? Because the guys outreaching to the big businesses are the ones with 2, 3, 4 years of experience already under their belt. They've already made their clients hundreds of thousands of dollars with their copywriting abilities. And then you're gonna come along and say, well, I don't have literally any experience whatsoever, and you're gonna get absolutely wrecked. But I don't want that to be you. So what I want for you is for you to actually go ahead and outreach to some of the smaller businesses that might not get outreach to nearly as much. Second of all, when you actually get your client within the next 72 hours, it is crucial that you focus on actually making them as much money as possible. You need to do the best job that you can possibly do because this is your make or break, okay? I don't want you stuck in the season where you're just getting a whole bunch of clients that might pay you $200 or $300, might pay you a little bit of commission, or want to do a free trial, and then your free trial never actually goes on to a paid partnership, okay? I want you guys to progress as quickly as possible, and the best way to progress as quickly as possible is by focusing on client success. Client success meaning your ability to make money for your client, okay? This is crucial, this is important, so make sure that you are always improving on your copywriting skills. And yes, there is tons and tons of content on the Tyson 4D channel to help you achieve this. And third of all, guys, I want you to tweak your messaging. A lot of people go into people's inboxes and say, hey, I'm a copywriter. And this is the worst thing that you can possibly do. Why? Because copywriting and being a copywriter, I mean, it just brings up so many objections, all right? Your clients are first of all gonna think, well, why would I pay somebody just to write some stuff when I can just use AI, right? For example, or they might think, well, I don't really need a copywriter, I need something else, okay? So what I want you to do is position yourself in your mind to where you are not a copywriter anymore, you are a problem solver, okay? And how do you want to position yourself to other people? You want to position yourself more as a digital marketer, position yourself more as a growth consultant or a digital growth expert or something of this nature, okay? And this is something I've been talking about for a long time in some of my videos, like I quit copywriting, here's why. It's because I quit calling myself a copywriter, thinking of myself as a copywriter, and actually came up with this new word that I called copy-salting. Essentially, it's like copywriting and marketing consulting combined, okay? And this is where the big bucks are, okay? This is how you get over some objections about, oh, well, I don't really need somebody to just write the copy for me, okay? Now, yes, as you're starting out, you will be strictly a copywriter because you don't have the skills to set up other people's email automations or doing their funnels or these sorts of things yet. But as you continue to grow, it is more and more important that you start to lose the copywriting title and start to lose just revolving around copywriting. Because essentially, like I said, you are going to turn into a growth partner, okay? That is going to be your job. And that is where the big bucks are because essentially there are two different types of copywriters, okay? There's the copywriters who are just like corporate, or all they do is write the copy, okay? Strictly copywriters. These are the people on Reddit who are saying, how on earth are all these people saying you can make 10K a month with copywriting? That's just not true. I mean, an average copywriter makes $40,000 a year, and they're not wrong, okay? But what I'm showing you how to do is not to be a copywriter, a corporate copywriter, or a freelance copywriter. The way that you make the big bucks and make 10K a month with copywriting is by doing more than just copywriting. But when you're starting out, the best way to at first get your client is to just think of yourself as a problem solver. If someone says, well, I don't need copywriting, but I need X, well, hey man, I'm telling you right now, you better get in there and you better do X, okay? And you better lose the copywriting title and say, oh, well, you know what? I'm actually pretty good at X. I can do X for you, okay? Because like I said, the first thing that you're looking for is on-the-job experience and also on-the-job knowledge. So guys, now that you have your 72-hour timer set, I expect you guys to get to work. And as always, if you guys want more outreach methods, you can go ahead and click on screen to watch the full 1-hour outreach course, and also go down in the description and get the Copy Starter Kit, where I have templates, scripts, examples, and everything else that you need to get started and get your first copywriting client. Anyways, guys, that is it for today. And of course, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.